Right, it's 2 August 2024, and today I am very happy to be giving you my update for the evening. But I'm not happy about what I'm talking about. I'm just happy about the fact that I can give you my update. So today has been a very eventful day, and a lot has happened. So let's start with the court cases. So Namatai Kwekwedza has been trending during the whole day, and she is trending with the other people that she was arrested with. However, the reason why Namatai is such a special case is that she's a young woman of 25 years old, and she's obviously vulnerable in the hands of the ZANU-PF guys and the state security. So people are more concerned about her as a female. I know that there are a lot of other young women who've been arrested and who are in prison. So we keep emphasizing the case of Namatai, but there are obviously other people that are in jail right now. But obviously, this is important. As you can see, there are many females who are in jail right now. But Namatai is a special case because she's got an international profile. She's well known across the whole world. And people are obviously concerned about her. But she's in jail with 3 other activists, very prominent activists. And so let me say what has happened. What has happened is that in the morning, Namatai is appeared in court together with Samuel Gwenzi, Vusimuzi Moyo, and Robson Chere. So the 3 gentlemen are all 39 and 40 years old. So Samuel is 39, Vusimuzi is 40, and Robson is 40. Namatai Kwekwedza is 25 years old. And when they appeared in court, they were charged for something that happened more than 2 months ago. So on the 28th of June. So this is the court case here. This is the court papers. I'm going to put these court papers on Gambakwe. And the case is to do with something that happened at the court when Timber and the rest of the guys appeared. So they say that these guys were chanting, and on the 27th of June 2024, at Harare Magistrate Court, accused persons in the company of other people were chanting slogans of the CCC party and throwing out the placards and so forth. So this is a nothing case or trumped up charges that have been put against these guys. And this is coming from 27 June. There's no way that this court, this is an agent case which requires someone to be pulled from a plane. So I think this is pure intimidation by the Mnangagwa government. There's a lot of intimidation going around. These guys are threatening people with soldiers. They are threatening people with citizens' arrest. There's a lot of intimidation going on. So these guys have been placed on remand, so they are going to stay in jail for the weekend. So Namatai and the rest of the guys are going to be in jail for the rest of the weekend. Then on Monday, there's going to be a bail application. So I hope that they allow them to get a bail application. But what I think is they actually want to keep them in jail until after the SADC summit. So this is my belief that they want to clear the leaders of all the groupings from Harare until after the SADC summit. So if you're a leader of an opposition political party or you have an activist, they're likely to pick you up. So this is speaking about that. They've picked up a number of people today, starting with Bishop Nyamakanga, who was picked up. They've picked up Job Sikhala, and they've picked up Jacob Ngarivhume. Those people have been picked up and are currently in the hands of the police, I believe. But the people who took them are not identifying themselves as police. So my understanding is that these guys are coming from what is called counterintelligence. This is the group that deals with politics in Zimbabwe. And these guys take people, they make people disappear, they infiltrate political organizations, and they tell lies about people. So when you see someone typing on Gambakwe, could Gambakwe MCIO, those are what we call counterintelligence. They are political activists. Those are the people who arrest people, and most likely those people are probably ZANU-PF or not properly trained agents. That is my understanding of what is going on. So we are in a very critical position, but the good thing is that internationally, we are getting a lot of attention. There's a lot of traction on Zimbabwe. And tonight, the Democratic Alliance of South Africa, who is one of the Government of National Unity partners, have issued a statement, and they say the venue of SADC must be changed. So the DA of South Africa has issued a statement saying the venue of SADC summit must be changed from Zimbabwe to another country. So here it says, by abusing state machinery to violate the rights of Zimbabweans, the ZANU-PF regime has demonstrated that it is prepared to go to any lengths to entrench its authoritarian rule. South Africa, and by extension, the SADC, must hold the Zimbabwean government account. So if you look at the bottom of this banner, you will see that it says SADC summit venue must be changed from Zimbabwe. Right, so you must go and read at da.org.za. So DA, one of the government partners of South Africa, have said that the SADC summit must be moved from Zimbabwe. So immediately you can see that we are getting a lot of traction, things are moving, and Mnangagwa is getting more and more isolated every day. As each day passes, Mnangagwa is getting more and more isolated. However, he's showing a brave face, and today Mnangagwa had two events. The first event is Mnangagwa opened this dam. This is the dam that Mnangagwa opened, and it's called Holy Cross Dam, and it's in Chirumanzu. And there are a number of projects here. You can go and check out the whole thing that Mnangagwa did this morning. And then in the afternoon, Mnangagwa went to his farm in Kwekwe, and only about 4 people turned up here. You can see the 4 people that turned up to Mnangagwa's farm. That was well done. The guys from SADC totally ignored this thing. No one went there. No one wants to see maize. Mnangagwa's farm is a maize farm. There's nothing happening at his farm, and people just went there because they want tenders. Like this guy here wanted to get a tender. So mostly it was ZANU-PF guys who were here, and really no one cares about the farming taking place at Mnangagwa's farm because there's not much farming taking place at that farm. So these are some of the guys who attended this meeting. And then in the morning, out of fear, Auxillia Mnangagwa then did not have the function that she had said she was going to have in Harare. So I suggested to guys that if ZANU-PF organizes an event, that is your chance. You know what to do. So whenever you see a ZANU-PF function, if you are planning something, that is where you should go. So guys actually did plan to do this, and Auxilia realized that this was going to happen. So she stopped everyone from coming where she was. So she only allowed the ZANU-PF guys and the bodyguards to help her to sweep the streets, and all other people were not allowed to come and sweep the street. So it's crazy what happened. I think she had like 2 or 3 people around there sweeping, and they abandoned the whole idea of a lot of people sweeping with Auxillia Mnangagwa. So they know very well what is going to happen. When you see a ZANU-PF function, that is where you can do your own event, because those are the only events that are allowed. So if you want to do an event, go to a ZANU-PF event. I've given you a tip, guys. If you know, you know what to do. So basically, that is it for tonight. Namatai Kwekwedza and the other 3 guys who are arrested with her, they appeared in court this morning, facing charges arising from an incident on the 27th of June. That is exactly 2 months ago, where they were at court and they're being accused of demonstrating at that event 2 months ago. And therefore, they've been kept in jail for the weekend, and they're going to be out on bail. They're not going to be out on bail. They're going to be applying for bail on Monday. And I've got a feeling that they won't get that bail, except if something big happens, which means people might have to go to that court and protest. And this then becomes a cascade. The only way that Mnangagwa can stop, if something big happens, So my suggestion would be if there is a court hearing, it's not illegal to go to court. Let's have 10,000 people at court. Let's have 20,000 people at court. That is the only way you can stop these guys from being locked up forever. The problem is Zimbabweans don't understand. You don't have to protest everywhere. You just walk to the court and sit there. Then if there's 10,000 of you, it makes a big difference. And that is what people are failing to do. To release guys like Namatai here, you have to do something like that. You have to appear at the court. You have to organize yourself. If there's 20,000 of you at the court, that makes a big difference. But if there's 1 or 2 people, it makes no difference. Then obviously, a lot of people have been picked up and arrested, starting with Bishop Nyamakanga. Then we talk about Job Sikhala and Jacob Ngarivhume. Those are the latest people to be arrested. You know that Steamer, the student, I understand, was also picked up today after being arrested and released last week. So we have a massive number of people in jail. The number is now over 110. The number of activists that has been arrested in Zimbabwe. So over 110 activists currently in jail right now by Mnangagwa in preparation for SADC. And I'm glad that the DA of South Africa has issued a statement and asked for the moving of the SADC from Zimbabwe to another country. The police of Zimbabwe have made a statement. They've said that they've not banned public gatherings, but I believe that they've done so. Public gatherings are being cancelled. Public shows are being cancelled as we speak. And people who are planning to travel to Zimbabwe are cancelling their trips. I wonder what is going to happen with the presidents of SADC because the situation is getting tense. And my understanding is that there's something else happening behind the scenes, something bigger within ZANU-PF. So let's watch and see what happens within the next few weeks. As I said, the next 3 months are critical. I think I've covered everything that I needed to cover. I'll be back here in the morning with the news. And let's see if there are any comments. Mkoma Victor is saying, will Zimbabwe ever be okay? Yes, Mkoma Victor. Let me tell you what is going to happen. Within the next few years, Zimbabwe is going to be one of the best countries ever. But we all have to play our part. And the part that we have to play is to become actively involved in what is happening. We cannot sit back. We cannot delegate our responsibilities to another person. We also have to understand that the problem is Mnangagwa. It's not ZANU-PF. It's not all the other guys. The only problem in Zimbabwe is Mnangagwa, and Mnangagwa is not legitimate. So the moment Mnangagwa steps down, our country will be the direction for success. So that is what you have to understand. The guys who are currently arresting people, beating people, they're just following the orders of Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa's policies are very dangerous. That is why Mnangagwa has to step down. And that is what everyone is demanding. Everyone who is here in jail, who is being sent to jail, is asking for a fresh election. And that is what we all need to talk about, what we need to think about. And then in terms of, guys, say all my likes. My likes, yes, put my likes. I really like it when you put the likes. Gambakwe is 14 years old today. This is 14 years since we established Gambakwe Media, 2010. And during that time, we've had millions of views, a minimum of 5 million views a month. That is amazing. So if you say 5 million views a month, I'm multiplying that by 12, that is 60 million views a year. If we say 60 million views a year, multiplied by 14 years, that is the kind of impact that Gambakwe has had. And we've had over 30 YouTubers from Zimbabwe coming from Gambakwe Media. Most of the news that you're watching can be traced to Gambakwe here. And people who have played a big part in setting up of Gambakwe and assisting us, Dr. Clarence. I'm sure I also have to mention Nehanda Radio. You know that when I was starting out, my channel was not big, and Nehanda played a big part in distributing our videos all over the place. And we had my brother Zenzele Ndebele in Blawa has played a big part in helping us with a lot of other things behind the scenes. I think there are a lot of guys who have worked with us. I cannot even mention how many people that I've worked with here at Gambakwe during this time. And the good thing is that where we're going, media is going to become critical. The plan that I have for our future in Zimbabwe and media is such that what is happening now will never happen again, where a story is not covered. If you go to Zimbabwe right now, you can go the whole day and you don't know what has happened to Namatai, you don't know what has happened to Mkwananzi, you don't know what has happened to Chamisa. We want to end that. We want to create a media that is so present and so immediate that will be like one of these modern countries like America, something you know about it before it happens. That is what we want. We want to create one of the most powerful medias. And we want people to come to Zimbabwe, to come back, people who have left our country, to come back to a fresh, new country with fresh ideas, with a fresh start. So what Mnangagwa was doing, this will be like a bad dream in the future. We want our country to do very, very well. And this can only happen if we work together. And I would like to thank everyone for the engagement that you're showing. We are showing a lot of engagement, over 100,000 views a day on Gambakwe. When we launched on TikTok, we've started exponentially growing that side. And we, on top of the 50,000 views we get on all the other platforms, we're almost getting about 50,000 new views on TikTok. What is the point? The point I'm giving you here is, if you see someone telling you that Zimbabwe is developing, or Zimbabwe is developed, or Zimbabwe is doing well, that person is lying to you. Zimbabwe is the worst country right now. Things are not moving. Mnangagwa is destroying everything. And we want to move to that space where our country does so well that people start coming back home. And that is what we want to do, and that is what we want to achieve. And it all starts with the media. When we connect each other, that is how our country will develop and do well. So I would like to thank all of you. And I want to read this comment here by Nap, saying, when you see old men jailing little girls, the end is near. Yes, it's true. And then Timber and company, unfortunately, we don't have an update, but my belief is that they want to keep them in jail. So the last day of trial was today, and I believe that they want to push them to the end of SADC summit. That is what I think they want to do. So let's see what happens on Monday, the ruling or the judgment. The trial ended today, so I expect the ruling on Monday on whether the case will be dismissed or not. If they do release everyone on Monday, all the better. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Mkoma Logic, thank you very much. And all the other guys who are here, please play your part. And within the next few weeks, I'm going to be calling upon people who want to partner me, who want to become partners of Gambakwe, which means financial partners. If you want to really own part of Gambakwe, we're going to need to talk, because we're going to be setting up our head office, and our head office will be having a building. So if you want to own part of that building, part of the company, just get prepared with the $20,000 US, and we are giving about 10 slots on Gambakwe, so that you become a shareholder over there. So I'd like to thank all of you, and let's just pray for everyone. This weekend is going to be long. Guys, when you're in police custody, and most of you have never been arrested, it's like time stops moving. You just sit there and nothing is happening, and it becomes crazy. Like, I was with the Zambian guys. The Zambian guys are nice. Like, they gave me the best looking detective. She was with me like for, I don't know how many hours, 2 to 3 hours. And she was the most educated person, but I still felt like I was in the West. My time had stopped, and yet I was in a comfortable position. Imagine when they put you in Zimbabwe with all those people. I've been to remand prison there at Harare. It's the worst place ever. So imagine if you are put there. So this thing that is happening, let's make sure it never happens again, and it never happens to your children. We want Mnangagwa to be a nightmare that we don't want to remember in a few years' time. When someone says Mnangagwa, we want people to want to say shh to the kids. don't talk about Mnangagwa, because that man has done the worst that is possibly can be done. And he's dragging SADC into this nonsense. Mnangagwa is dragging SADC into his behavior, which is unacceptable. And then Mkoma Paridzai is saying, Gambakwe joined politics and worked for President Chamisa. Guys, we can't all be politicians. That's why I need to do well in media. We need to bring up a massive media, and we want to develop our country. So what we want to do is to make politics common and normal, so that more people can go into politics. At the moment, only brave people can go into politics, and that makes no sense. We want a young person from varsity who is an SRC to jump into politics, so that we've got much more nice stuff happening, just like the DA is doing here. It's not scary to be in politics. Similarly, we want the politics not to be politicized or militarized, but at the same time, our guys in security structures, the CIO, are being abused. They're being made to do political work. A guy who is in CIO is not a political person. They must be sitting there studying, getting degrees in knowledge in economics and in international law and all those kind of things. That's what CIO should do. That technology. At the moment, our CIOs, they spend the whole day pretending to be women on WhatsApp and making and hacking people's WhatsApps and all that nonsense, which makes no sense. We want our country to do well, but this won't happen with what's happening in our country. That's because Mnangagwa does not get it. He cannot imagine a country that is developed. Those 2 or 3 roads that is making, this side they are being made by a private company in a private development. We want a fresh new country, and that won't come under Mnangagwa, but we all need to unite. We all need to work together. That is what we need to do. Right, Mkoma Zenzo, your story I'll talk about another day. And then Mkoma Willard, Gambakwe, please be careful when you go to Zimbabwe because you're targeted. We don't want to lose you. Guys, I'm going to leave Africa very soon because Mnangagwa is going to catch me anyway in any country. So I will probably have to move from Africa very, very soon so that I can be in a place. I don't even know if there's a place where Mnangagwa can't get you because he's got agents everywhere. So let's see if I can find a country like Iceland, Uko at the end, where I won't be touched by Mnangagwa. Or I can go to Russia. Then I sit that side. Then let's see if he's going to come there and get me. Guys. But the truth is, it's getting a bit hot and we need to make plans. I'm not going to travel to Zimbabwe, so it makes no sense. I'm going to cancel my ticket very soon and do something else. Yeah, so that is it. I don't think it makes sense for me to go to Zimbabwe right now. Right, thank you very much everyone for watching, and let's recap before I go. Namatai and the other guys who were arrested, Robson Chere, these guys here were arrested, are going to be appearing in court on Monday for a bail hearing, and they has arrested 3 other people that I know of. Bishop Nyamakanga, they've arrested Job Sikhala, they've arrested Jacob Ngarivhume, on top of all these other guys for incitement of violence. So that is what is happening, and on Monday we'll get more information. So I'd like to thank all of you for the massive support that you're giving us. 14 years of Gambakwe Media, that's amazing. And I think we'll pray for God to give us another 50 years. Then right now I'm like 47. If you add 50, that means I'll be 97 years old. And I'll still be streaming here, probably using my AI bot at that time. So I'll just be lying there and my AI will be talking. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. See you in the morning at 5 a.m. and good night.